Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Southpaw's Tales of the Barstool. I am the host and founder, JD.
Yes, you
to
are.
my right, as always, is the hot and funny one, my beautiful wife, Kat. Say hello.
Everybody, and good afternoon, good morning,
good morrow, even though it's evening.
Yes, good morrow.
So just a heads up, this is pre-recorded, but as always, we really want you guys to interact with us. We try and get back to the comments as much as we can. Reach out to you guys offline if we can. So if you are watching this live, listening to it live, please make sure you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give them permission to see your name.
I mean, live for you.
Yeah, live for you, not live for us. We're doing this the day before you're seeing it, so it's live for us,
So
but it's not live for you.
when we say good morrow, we mean good morrow.
So as you see, I'm wearing some gigantic glasses on my face. These are my prescription safety glasses for work.
I didn't notice. Where?
A dirty ass work shirt. Like, I didn't feel like changing for shit when I got home. I threw some food down my throat and got ready for this. So I hope you guys appreciate it. This is all for you.
JD and I both worked today, by the way. So yeah.
And we got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go work out too. So
I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I woke up at 4:20.
I woke up at 4:28. It was basically.
So if you want to see how good we look when we're not working, make sure you go check out all of our old episodes on YouTube or any of your favorite podcasting platforms.
Plastic.
Yeah. Podcasting platforms. Just search us under the name Southpaw's Tales of the Barstool. You can't miss us.
Absolutely.
And when you do get there, make sure that you tongue punch that share button's fart box.
And finger blast that like button consensually.
Consensually.
So
tonight, we're going to be doing a show about willpower. Some funny stories, some really amazing, inspirational stories, and a little bit of stuff in between. Stick around. Mine is about poop. That's right.
Poop?
Yeah, my personal willpower story is about poop. You don't want to miss it. Stick around for that one.
I'm like, that's not in my...
that's not the show notes. That's going to be a surprise for everyone. The poop is going to be a surprise for everyone.
By the way, I'm a gosh darn professional now, and I started looking shit up, and I came seriously prepared with 6 pages of shit. JD's got like a page somewhere.
I got screenshots.
Oh yeah, he's got a couple of screenshots.
I got screenshots. That's how I take my notes on my phone.
I'm just saying that this has totally flipped the switch, and now I'm the prepared fucking professional.
And now I'm just the tech guy.
And now he's just gonna have to be the hot and funny one. So the pressure's off of me. Yay!
So as you know, we open up every single episode with a different drink. Tonight we're doing something a little bit different. You see this nice little circle, or not really circle, oval-ish of we're not going to that one. So there's circle of glasses right here. What we're doing, as you saw, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we got to go to the LNF Distributors Beer
Symposium. Summit.
Beer Summit. So it was like 40 brewers there that we got to hang out with and try all their stuff. There's some stuff that we were given that we haven't had a chance to try yet. So that's what we're doing. Spindle Tap. Actually, Spindle Tap Brewery actually gave us 2 cases of various beer, and we're going to try 3 of them.
Free. So are they sponsoring us? No, but if you give us free beer, guess what? We're going to have you on the show.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to pour half glass for Kat, half glass of me out of a can, and we're going to drink it, and we're going to give it a nice review. And then throughout the show, we're going to try the other 2 and give you the honest reviews.
We should share a glass so that you wind up with this dark violet lipstick I have on right now. Because
it wouldn't match my shirt.
Yeah, but it would definitely go with the charcoal or smoke, whatever you have across your face. I think that would be really pretty.
It's carbon.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not charcoal, carbon, because they're completely different.
So the first beer we're doing from Spindle Tap is
Vanna White.
I was showing
Look how cute he is.
So it's the Calavera Lager. It is 4.8% ABV.
That's it. I'm just kidding.
Lagers are actually, I deliberately chose a lot of the lighter alcohol beers because, well, I'm tired. Number 1, I have to be up for work in the morning. Number 2, and I'm just dehydrated. Number 3, so
you can count. Aren't you adorable?
Sometimes.
Well, you just did a pretty ass pour.
Oh yeah, look at that. You got to have a little head.
Just a little? I'll remember that in the future.
Well, I mean, it's...
And he's already
the ratio is correct.
Take it back. I take it back.
The ratio
lots
is
of
correct.
Head. Lots of head. Look at that head compared to that glass.
That is a very good lager.
That is very good.
It's light. It's not hoppy. Like
It's got a little hop.
It tends like
It's got hop.
it's got some, but it's not like it tends like anything that's light nowadays has gone like super hoppy like IPAs. So it's hard to find a good light beer.
But this is really good.
But yeah,
Like this is the hop I can stand. Like a little hop, no big deal. Sir hops a lot, I'm out. But this is really
got
good.
some good barley
this is
to it.
very good.
Yeah, it's got a really good taste to it.
What the fuck are you? I've been watching like makeup shows, so I'm trying a new lip on today, and you're apparently been watching cooking shows, and you're like, I can taste the barley.
No, I just like beer. And by liking a lot of beer, I can I know ingredients.
Can you? Well, duh. Everyone knows barley and hops, dummy. You don't have to.
That's why I take my water. But you can taste the barley. But let's move forward now that we've tried our first beer. It was really good. So check out Spindle Top
and it's
or
got
Spindle
this, like,
Tap.
sugar skull on it. Yeah, so it's even cooler because of the glass.
And they're based out of Houston, Texas, if I didn't say it. So let's get into our sponsors. And one of our sponsors is a brewery, but they're super cool with us trying other beers. That's the cool thing about microbrews is they're very, very supportive of each other. They do a lot of collabs. They go out there and they cross promote. So my favorite brewery in the world, been drinking them since long before they sponsored us, is 5x5 Brewing Company. They're Battleborn Mission. What?
What?
You stopped. You said something.
I didn't.
Okay, we'll listen to the playback. So 5x5 Brewing Company is Battleborn, Texas-made veteran brewing company based in Mission, Texas. Co-founded by Army veteran George Rice, with beers like 40mm Stout, the Brunette Bombshell, and Fubar. It's no surprise this brewery is taking over the Texas markets from the valley to the coastal bend. They're soon to be in El Paso. They're already up in the Hill Country, Bryan College Station, and by the end of 2022, they will be completely statewide and nationwide by the end of 2023 if things go right. Make sure that you ask your local bar, grocer, and restaurant to start carrying 5x5 Brewing Company today. You can reach out to them at 5x5brewing.com, facebook.com/5x5brewing, 956-445-5421 is how you call them, and email them at info@5x5brewing.com. And our next sponsor is OMOG Construction, founded by Marine veteran Seth Knox and Matt Anders. They are general contractors servicing the greater Houston, Texas area with a focus on concrete. No job too big or too small. From residential and commercial and industrial foundations and pads, OMOG Construction has you covered. Not just typical concrete shit. They make really pretty concrete shit. So it's awesome stuff. Reach out to them at omogco.com. That's Omako.
You're doing a great job.
Facebook.com/omogco or Instagram omogco. That stands for one Mexican, one Wedo. If you don't know by now, Wedo is Spanish slang for white dude. And as always, actually not as always, as recently, all of our editing, post-editing, and distribution is done by Knucklehead Media Group, founded by Marine veteran Stephen Colon, covering all your podcasting and media needs from audio and video editing to strategy planning and global online distribution.
Way to go, Stephen.
Way to go.
You're the man.
I was actually on his podcast like a year before we started, 2 years before we started our podcast.
Way to go, Steven.
Yeah, way to go, Steven. But this professional team of experts takes your idea and make it a reality while providing the knowledge and expertise to help you grow your audience and reach. Reach out for them at knucklehead.agency or Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are all the same. It's Knucklehead MG. No spaces, no underscores, just Knucklehead MG. And without further ado, we're going to get into our shit show. It's all tales of willpower, the good, the bad, and the shitty.
I'm getting super distracted by a furry bitch. Well, furry bastard. It's the fluffy cat. He's like half in, half out the
ADD.
door. I'm sorry. I just keep looking down. I want to explain to everybody what the fuck I'm doing, those that can actually watch it. Don't be an a-hole today.
So right to our stage right,
like yes,
there's a doggy door that our cats go in.
Use.
Yeah. And
hey, don't be mean.
Don't
be an asshole. Only I like that.
Well, like it then. Do you want a refill? I do.
Yes. If you is that you trying to be nice and make up for the fact you're being
douchey. Sure. Okay, so
and I've never been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. You probably should have.
I should have. I definitely should have. I've got it under control-ish now.
I just feel silly when you're doing the sponsors and I'm just sitting here like, yep. You know what I mean? I have nothing
you should be like a hype man and be like, Yeah.
Yeah. What? You're doing bomb, dude. Keep it going, sponsors. Like, I don't know. I just feel silly just sitting there doing jack shit. So, like, I'm like looking off and like making stupid faces and stuff. Like, I got to figure out something to do. Like, maybe I should be a hype man. I'm a hype man at work. I'm like, yeah, you start that IV, bitch. You got this. Like, so maybe I should. I don't know. It's kind of my jam. Yeah, I'm a hype girl. I'm okay with that. What?
All right, I'm getting us back on
Knucklehead. You started this shit.
I'm trying to get us back on track here.
Good luck.
We're 11 minutes in. We haven't even gotten to the fucking
Good
topic
luck.
yet.
Train wreck.
Train wreck.
Don't care.
Okay,
Hey,
so
do you want me to do a joke?
yes, do a joke.
Are you gonna every time I talk?
I've tried to say a sentence like 6 times.
No, you're not.
Say a joke. Say your
No one
joke.
cares. No one
Say your joke.
Okay, let me find mine. So actually it's kind of weird. So this like really hot 26-year-old offered to have sex with me. Yeah, all I had to do was like give a shout out on our podcast or their cleaning supplies. But yeah, no, I wasn't really interested. So I declined because of my strong willpower. I mean, my willpower is as strong as Ajax. It's the super strong bathroom cleaner, now available in lemon and vanilla scent.
So is she hot?
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe she was.
It's all that matters.
She smelled like Ajax, which smells amazing.
So willpower. We've all experienced it. We've all dealing with it isn't the right term, but because I can't think right now, I'm just gonna say we've all dealt with willpower. Oh, yeah. It's gotten us through.
We've all dealt with willpower.
Yeah, I mean, willpower is.
I think we struggled with not having willpower.
Yeah. So willpower is, that's how you lost all your weight. That's how you get up at 4 a.m. to work out. That's how I've started to get up at 4ish in the morning.
And I don't always have that willpower.
And everybody has their own tales of willpower.
Yeah,
a lot of them are interchangeable because a lot of us have been through the same stuff. And as you grow older, it's that willpower that gets you going. But we're not going to talk about just the run of the mill willpower stuff. I've got 2 stories that I found online that I found really interesting that I want to share. I've got one of my own I'm going to share, and then one from a viewer that sent it out that we're going to share. And but I want to start with this guy, Aaron Ralston, and he was his story actually was turned into a movie. And I'm sure as I describe the story, if you've seen the movie, you're going to know all about it, but some of you might not.
The name sounds familiar, so I'm wondering if
Aaron Ralston was an avid hiker, loved to go and just go do all kinds of crazy hikes, climbs. Generally followed the rules when it came to hiking and climbing, as far as letting people know where you're going to be or taking somebody with you. On this one particular incident, he did not take anybody with him. He was hiking in the Canyonlands National Park in Utah, which is it's all sandstone cliffs and mountains where it's really cool.
Like plateaus or like peaked?
No, it's like it looks like you're on ground level, and then it's like where the wind and the rains over thousands of years have washed away.
Like a Grand Canyon, but smaller?
Yeah, kind of. But it's there's some of the crevices that you can't walk through, but there's other ones that are 10, 12 foot wide. And it's,
oh, wow. Okay.
And it's everywhere in between. But he was going through a slot canyon, which is what they call where the wind has eroded that sandstone, and you can walk on the bottom of it, and you're looking up like 50, 60 foot to the ground level. He was walking through one of the slot canyons. And he was climbing on a boulder, and it came loose, and he fell into that slot, and the boulder pinned his arm between the wall.
Oh.
And
I think I know what story this is.
Yeah. So this guy is pinned with his arm between a rock and a hard place, like literally a boulder and a cliff wall. He's holding on to the boulder with his other hand, kind of. After some time, he positions himself to where he's kind of braced himself against the other wall with his feet.
Yeah.
If you've seen the movie, it's called 127 Hours. He sat there, laid there, leaned there, whatever you want to call it, for literally 127 hours with no cell phone service. Nobody could hear him. He was in a very remote area of the Utah desert, and
awful.
So he was very experienced. Initially, there was he was very calm initially and thought that he can get out of it fairly quickly. Tried pushing, pulling,
He had like,
rocking.
if I remember this correctly, he had like a bottle of water, a protein bar. Like there wasn't a lot, correct?
No, he didn't have a lot because he was planning on it was just going to be like a day hike for him. So that was it. So yeah, he had roughly 300 milliliters of water, and so he had a camcorder with him. So he actually filmed himself as a film diary.
Oh no!
As he's going through this, and 127 hours. I don't know how many days that ends up being, but that's what 5 days, four or 5 days
yeah,
at least on just a handful of water, no food, very little sleep because obviously he's in a very shitty position.
5.3 days. So over 5
So
days.
he ends up having hallucinations from
awful.
From the lack of water, lack of sleep, everything like that, lack of food.
Yeah.
He's videotaping himself, but during one of his hallucinations, he actually has the plan on how to get out, and regardless of how to get out, staying alive for 5 days when you're pinned, that most people would have just given up and died.
Yeah,
would have just been like, yep, it's over. At one point, he did give up on his diary. He did say to whomever finds me, make sure my parents get this videotape, let them know what happens, said his goodbyes.
Awful.
He made peace with the whole situation.
Awful.
If you Google it, you do a little bit of research, you can actually find the real tape.
Ooh.
It's been released. And how calm he is going through this is just mind-blowing.
Sorry, there is one fly.
He ends up getting out, and I wouldn't be able to. I can tell you right now, I could not do this.
Cut your own arm off.
He cut his own arm off with a Swiss Army knife.
That's a lot of cutting in bone, everything.
He cut all the muscle, and he did it. He was very smart about where he cut himself. Made a tourniquet, cut all the skin and the muscle and the ligaments, and then used where he's pinned between the wall and the boulder as leverage to snap his bones.
Oh my!
And rip his bones off.
And
but yeah, so after that, one-handed climbed out of that slot canyon. It was it 65 foot
with one hand.
He found some rainwater that had collected in a small little pool, hydrated, and hiked far enough to find other hikers to rescue him. He spotted another family, and Utah Highway Patrol helicopter landed and took him to the hospital. Fun fact about after he got married to somebody that didn't know him when this happened, had a son. He still climbs to this day, one-handed.
Oh shit!
But he always leaves a note for his family to know where he's climbing.
Well, yeah, and you should probably have like one of those stupid satellite phones where you'll never lose signal. Like, dude, seriously. It's like the girl who got the shark that bit her arm off, and then she kept surfing after that. And you're like, man, I don't know.
But I honestly don't know if I could ever have the willpower to cut a limb off of my own.
I don't know. I'd really have to be desperate. Even still, it's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine.
I think maybe if others were in danger, it would be different. But if it was just
yourself, you don't know.
I'd be like, fuck it. I guess I'm a goner.
I don't know. Cause like in times I think I'm a optimist where I'd be like, someone will find me. Someone will find me. I don't know though, man. That's tough.
So yeah, that was if you want to check it out, his name was Aaron Ralston, Ralston.
Yikes.
You can find out more of his story, just some really cool stuff. There's a lot more behind the scenes that I didn't talk about. I just gave you the brief synopsis of it. Just a really cool story.
Well, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I've kind of heard about it. I've never seen 127 days, but yeah, I don't know. In that situation. So let me ask you a question. As far as willpower goes in general, what do you think is the biggest preventer, like the biggest thing acting against willpower in most people?
Fear of failure.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the fear of failure
I
stops a lot.
I think mine's somewhere in the same category. I think overthinking and overanalyzing. Like if you're like, oh, I'm gonna go back to school. Oh, but I'm too old. Oh, but this, but I don't have time, but I have this. And you
which
just
leads to
you
fear of failure.
overanalyze, but it's more than that. It's a matter of talking yourself out of it before there's even the fear of failure. Like, I mean, look at how many excuses you can make not to work out, not to wake up at 5 a.m. and go work out. Yeah, it fucking sucks. But there's 1,000 excuses not to do, and
There's
it's
one
more
fucking
about
fly.
just going back to school and working out. Just anything. Like anything that you've wanted to do, and you're like, I just don't have the willpower, there's 1,000 stories out there, and there's 1,000 excuses why not to do it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Willpower is sometimes as simple as just talking yourself into it.
Yeah, it really is. You're just going to have to actually, and what I told JD is, I don't like to wake up that early in the morning to work out. I like to work out first thing in the morning, but that early is stupid early. So what I do
Not a fan.
is I get out the gosh darn door. I can't work out here at the house because I'll just be like, I'm going to snooze it. But if I commit and I just get out the door, then I get there and it's like, fuck it, I'm already here. Now I have to. And you got to pigeon yourself, like pigeonhole yourself.
Pigeon your hole?
Yes. You got to pigeon
Is that
your
what the
hole
kids are calling
into
it
it. You got to pigeon your hole into it and thrust through that glass ceiling.
That's what the kids are calling it these days, huh?
You know what I mean? You got to like find a way to trick yourself into doing it sometimes. And then eventually you'll hopefully get the motivation and the willpower, honestly. So I'm going to bring up a famous person.
Do I know him?
Yeah, you really do. He's a pretty famous horror movie novelist. Any guesses?
Horror movie novelist.
Horror novelist that also they've been made into movies.
Stephen King's the only one I
Stephen
can
King.
think. I know other ones.
Yeah.
John Carpenter.
No, it is Stephen King. So to date, he has produced and sold upwards of 350 million copies of his novels. But did you know that his first novel was rejected by 30 different firms? 30 different firms rejected him before they finally gave him his first shot. To the point where he'd given up and thrown Carrie in the trash. The book Carrie, threw it in the trash. Thankfully, his wife was like smart enough to fish it out of the trash. So if they ever get divorced, he owes her like a lot of money. So 30 different can you imagine going to 30 different interviews and getting rejected 30 different times and going back for more? Like that's a lot. But like for the same thing. Say you created something and 30 different times you got rejected. Like that's rough. That's rough. I
think what makes it more rough is it's something that you created. That's your proverbial baby.
Yes. It is. Yeah. That's like you make.
You're emotionally tied to it. It's not like
beautiful table, and then 30 different people tell you it sucks.
Yeah, it's not like trying to sell cars and you have 30 people walk in and out the door without making a sale. It's completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you like hand built a motorcycle because you like motorcycles, or and someone's like no, and then 29 other people are like no. I mean that's rough. So good for him. Good for him for having that willpower and that initiative, that determination, keep going back until he sold his books. So good for you, Stephen King. Most of you might not know his name, but he's kind of big.
Yeah. What's crazy is not only does he write the horror stuff, but he's done stuff like God dang it, what was one of the Tom Hanks where he's the prison guard and the big black dude
Green
on Tire
Mile.
Life? Yeah, the Green Mile.
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm.
The Green Mile. Stand By Me. Stand By Me is one of those ones I have to watch at least 3 or 4 times every year just to.
Yeah, you do.
That's a good fucking movie though.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's just okay.
It's okay. What do you want from me?
But it's weird, just because most people are or most artists are so stuck on one genre or style that it's hard to see them not just venture out from their style, but do amazing outside of that.
Yeah, I get that. Like You know, I mean, I've dabbled in anal. I just don't think I'm any good.
Well, look at tattoo artists. You have your street artists, which are kind of your jacks of all trades, but they're not masters of any. But you find anybody that has their style.
Yeah.
As soon as they get out of that comfort zone, it's not generally they're not nearly as good. Like
No.
it's piss poor a lot of times.
Which is why I think the tattoo competitions are so amazing, is because they literally have to thrive at every
Yeah.
single style, or they're gonna fail, even though they're world renowned, which I think is awesome.
So do you want to try this next beer before we
Yeah,
get
man,
into more
let's
stories?
do it. Let's do it. Mhm.
Okay. So the next beer we are going to try tonight is also by Spindle Tap. It is the Proper Pilsner, which is 4.9% ABV. As I said, Spindle Tap is out of Houston, Texas. Let's try this out and see how it is. Pilsners are also usually a pretty light beer. Like your Bud Lights, your Coors, all that shit. All those are Pilsners. So Pilsners are generally an American style versus your lagers and ales, which most of those came from Europe.
So while you're pouring that out, I'm gonna tell you another little joke. This woman went to a restaurant. She walked out with like a plate full. Like she's got like a roast beef sandwich, large chips, large drink, like jumbo sausage, you name it. And this poor homeless man like was sitting there watching her, and he's like, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I'm staring. It's just, I haven't eaten for 2 days." And she's like, "Oh, I would kill for your willpower."
Oh, that's tasty.
Is it
Yeah.
Pilsner? Pilsner, what Pilsner?
It's the Proper Pilsner.
Proper Pilsner.
This is river beer.
Oh yeah, that's good.
This is hot day outside
I like
beer.
that better than the lager. That's good.
Yeah. This is
like, it's really refreshing.
Yeah, this is definitely outdoor barbecuing. Or
How many do we have
floating
of
or-
those? I'm going to the pool tomorrow.
No, you're not going to drink all the Propers.
I wasn't gonna drink all. How many are there?
One. There was only one.
You're such a liar. I wasn't gonna drink all of them.
So,
I probably was. That's actually really, really good.
so should I tell my personal story about Willpower, or should I tell the other one that I have?
I say to go for your personal one. Like, let's go.
So, my personal story of Willpower. I want to take you back to the year 1996.
Oh, your 40th birthday. Okay, got it.
Get fucked.
Proper fucked?
Proper fucked.
Proper
Yeah.
fucked.
So I was a junior in high school. I made it to state competition for DECA, which I can't remember what the acronym is, but
That's a debate?
no, it was
Oh.
it was
What
a
is that?
business and marketing class.
Got it.
And yeah, I made it to state competition. This year the state competition was held in Dallas. Side note, I also made it to nationals that year, but
Well, hey.
I was the
Hey,
first.
Is that on your resume? You should add that to your resume.
I was the first person in my school's history to make it nationals, but that has nothing to do with the story.
You
So like many
are awesome. You should
So
be
like many high school trips,
proud of
you know,
yourself.
we were on one of those white like 12 passenger vans.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just the regular shag and wagon van. It's got like 6 bench seats or some shit like that.
Shag and wagons.
I think there was like 9 of us or something on this trip.
You each had your
and-
own bench.
Nah, we were like 2 to seat because we had to use like back seats for all of our luggage and shit. But
Got it.
there were a couple of girls on this trip. No, I wasn't hooking up with any of them. I had zero game when I was in high school.
Yeah. You said that. You say that a lot. But then I know your number and how many people you've been with, and
That was
you
way after high
had lots more game than you realized. Really?
Not during high school. I had zero game.
Mm.
But
Mm.
so I go to this competition from Beeville to Dallas. It's an 8-hour drive there.
How old were you?
16.
Okay, so you weren't a virgin anymore. So don't tell me you had
No, I wasn't a virgin,
game.
but hey, sun shines on a dog's ass every now and again. But to continue, to digress, did the competition. We're on our way back. We stopped for breakfast at some like Denny's or IHOP or something like that. Eat, drink a big old glass of orange juice, and then we're on the road for about 20 minutes. We're not even completely out of Dallas yet. Dallas is huge, but we're not out of there yet. And my stomach goes.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
Instantly sweat on the hairline.
No. Oh.
Now, I was extremely self-conscious and insecure, especially around girls. Like, even if they weren't cute or hot or anything, I was extremely self-conscious and insecure. And having to ask the driver to pull over at a gas station so I could poop was the last thing I was going to do.
Yeah. You could have said you had to pee.
I said I needed to. I said to pull over because I was feeling sick, like I needed to throw up.
Yeah.
But they were like, "Oh, we can just pull over on the side of the road and you can throw up." I'm like, "Oh no, nope," because I knew if I moved,
You were gonna move.
I was gonna throw up in my pants from my ass.
You were gonna have a bowel movement.
Yeah, I was gonna throw up in my pants from my ass.
Oh my god.
So
I'm motion sick, but on the bottom half of me.
So I was like, "There's no way in hell I am gonna poop with these girls knowing that I'm going to poop." So I shit you not, and I'm probably the first person. I didn't even mean for that to happen. I think I'm the first person in human history to hold diarrhea in for a solid 8 hours. Solid.
Oh, a solid, not so solid 8 hours.
But for the entire drive from Dallas to Beeville,
oh my god,
I just clenched my teeth, clenched my cheeks, clenched my fists.
Oh my god.
I had minimal conversation because I'm just like, mm-mm.
I just pretended to be asleep the whole time so no one talked to me.
Nope. I was just like
let me be
miserable. And then most people knew that I was not feeling good, so they were leaving me alone anyways. But yeah, the whole time there's cold sweats on my forehead.
No.
And so we finally pull into the school.
Yeah.
And they're like, "All right, everybody, before you leave, make sure you get your bags, clean out the van, all that good stuff." I'm like, I'm still feeling sick. I'm going to the bathroom. Okay. I go, and the bathrooms are on the exterior of the buildings, but in an interior hall. Like there was gate, and the gate was locked. I'm like, no. And my stomach, though, still is even worse.
No. Oh my god, no.
And I'm like, oh,
I can't be that kid who shits himself.
I was so scared I was gonna have a fart with the side of gravy.
Like, did you smuggle wet dog food?
So I did some kind of a fucking penguin shuffle to the next available fucking bathroom, and luckily the door was open. And I got my pants around my knees. I was about at a 45 degree of squatting.
Were your feet turned inward?
I'm not gonna give anybody some explicit details. All I'm gonna say is that the janitor probably retired the day after.
He called in an old priest and a young priest. Toilet's haunted. we need a lesson.
Who painted the toilets?
Dear God, the toilet blew up.
It was not pretty, but that is. I have done. Not to toot my own horn, I've done many amazing things in my life. Stuff I never thought I would be able to do. I got married to a hot chick. I kept her. I've so far all my kids are healthy, both physically and mentally, to the best of my knowledge. So I've done a lot of things. But this particular feat of
fortune in therapy.
But yeah, this particular feat of willpower is by far the strongest one.
Good for you.
And that's my poop story.
I pushed 3 babies out of my body. Like, you want me to bite, like
I held
grab
in
your ass and tell you you're pretty.
I held in the weight of 3 babies for 8 hours.
It's a whopper. Well, I don't have any holding in the shit stories like JD does. So I guess I don't know. I don't know what my willpower story would be. I mean, besides my weight loss journey, but everyone's heard about that. You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that like working full time, everything. I am going back to college, and I'll be re-enrolling soon. I did start college courses. What was that? 2 years ago, three or 4 years ago. But I had to take a hiatus because I switched jobs. While I will be finishing my bachelor's degree, maybe even getting my master's degree. So there you go. Praise Jesus. But
not only is she the hot and funny one, she's the smart one too.
JD wants me to finish and get my PhD in business just so there can be one Dr. Tyranny. And I'm like, yeah.
Hey, that'd be fucking rad, though.
Yeah, that you do it then.
Do I look like the college type?
You definitely don't look like the doctor type. I mean, I could.
Like, doctor, do you concur?
Like, if you show up with a speculum, I'm going to be like, get the fuck out. All right. Do you want to hear my next celebrity story?
Let's hear your celebrity
okay, so there was this amazing long distance runner that qualified and participated in 2004 Summer Olympics for the marathon division. At his pace, he was sure to win first place and secure the gold medal. Unfortunately, he was attacked by a spectator very near the end of the race. The spectator purposefully pushed him into the sidelines.
It's like Happy Gilmore. It's like, you suck.
Yeah.
Jackass.
Intentionally did it. And it was 10 seconds long. So it doesn't seem long, but it was long enough for several others to get in front of him.
Oh, it races like fractions of seconds count. Like, I can't imagine. 10 seconds is huge.
So he was surpassed by a couple of runners, eventually got the guy off of him, continued the race, won bronze. But this is the thing that surprised everyone. He was smiling and was grateful for the bronze, even though he would have gotten the gold medal. And that willpower, that like mental willpower of I'm going to be happy with what I got regardless, because this is what God gave me. And like that really spoke to me. It was like, holy crap, willpower can be more than buckling down and losing weight or going back to college or whatever. It's like having that mental capacity.
Keeping things in perspective.
Yes. And it was so beautiful. And his name was, and oh my God, am I going to butcher this? Vanderlei Cordero de Lima. So good for you.
Where is he from? Is he Spanish?
JD.
It sounds German. Sounds German.
Shut the fuck up. I don't even know. I didn't even write it down, you bastard.
Swiss, maybe?
No, it's probably
Korean.
De Lima, really? I don't know.
De Lima.
He's probably Spanish, Mexican, French. No one can know.
Spanish or French?
You want me to Google him? I'll Google him.
We'll get back to you guys on that one.
Seriously, now I want. Oh, I hate you so much. I'm gonna Google it. Stupid. Go on. Go on to the next thing.
What am I going?
I'm just gonna interrupt you. Telling you.
Really? No.
Vanderlei de Lima, Brazilian. He's Brazilian.
He's named after a wax.
His name isn't Brazilian. His nationality is. I was like, wait, what? Carry the one.
That joke sounded way better in my head.
I bet it did.
It was like,
yeah, it was hot garbage when it came out.
No. It was just garbage.
Do you want to? Okay, so while
but just
I got something to say because I saw this online and it was really funny, but it wouldn't tell me who quoted this. Determination, precision, focus, accuracy, all attributes I have while shaving my pubes that I should really put into other aspects of my life. And I was like,
okay, you're gonna have to type that in Facebook and tag me in it so I have it. It'll show up in my memories every year.
Really put into other aspects of my life. I'm like, yeah, I probably should.
Burns on my arm. They keep they suck. I got burned at work today. Like
You
tiny little
always
burns.
get burned. You know, that is like, I'm sorry, baby. That's a hazard of your job.
It is.
If I
You
get
play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
mucus on me, I can't come home and say, well, I got mucus all over my.
I mean, you could. It's a hazard of your job, and I would understand, and I would be there for you. I would be a shoulder for you to cry
Would
on.
you? Would you?
I would.
Oh, did you need a shoulder to cry on?
No.
Do you have an issue? Get a tissue.
So moving on. So my next story of willpower
Stupid
is
fly.
about a serial entrepreneur. You know, that not cereal is in the food, but cereal is in doing something over and over again.
Cool.
This fucking fly.
Is it Elon Musk?
No, unless Elon Musk was born in 1890 in Indiana.
I doubt it.
I mean,
I think he's younger than you. I don't even know.
I think he is too.
I think
So-
he is.
So yeah, this guy Harland was he was born in 1890, and his parents passed away when he was 6.
Oh.
So in the 7th grade, he dropped out of school to pretty much cook, clean, care for his siblings. Like he was the man of the house, really young. At the age of 16, he faked a birth certificate to enlist into the army, and did a year in the army. Because it's not like it is nowadays where you have to do a 2-year hitch, 4-year hitch, 6 years, whatever.
Yeah.
They could enlist for like a year.
He only did a year?
Yeah, did 1 year,
Okay.
honorably discharged.
Got it.
And got hired on as a railroad laborer. Basically, he's been working on the railroad, all the blah blah blah. But he got fired.
It required the song?
Yeah. But he got fired for fighting. So
Shit.
So yeah, like not a good thing. So but after getting fired for fighting, what would you do? Where would your life take you at this point?
Find another job?
How about law school?
What?
So Harland went to law school after this. He studied law, but then he ruined that career by
Fighting?
getting in a fight.
Harland, you dirty bastard.
So Harland. So I'm sorry, I got part of the story right. His father had passed away when he was young, not his mother. Just
okay, got it.
So
It's
he moved
cool.
back with his mom to get back on his feet, got a job selling insurance, and guess what happened?
He got fired for fighting?
No.
Oh.
He got fired for insubordination.
Oh my God. Harland, give up, man.
But in 1920, at 30 years old, he decided he was going to he founded a ferry boat company. Ferrying across
I know
river
what
and lake.
fairies are. Yeah. Not like fairies, but like
I'm okay, we're moving on.
what?
I'm not saying anything that's going to get me canceled.
Oh.
Later, he tried cashing in his ferry boat business for a lamp business. Because, like I said, he's a serial entrepreneur, has all these ideas, and
But they're not
pursues on them.
successful.
But his lamp company went under because somebody sold a better product, like right out of the gate. They sold a better version of the same lamp.
Like snap on, clap on. It's a snapper.
So it was he was in his 40s when he started. As I mentioned earlier, he was cooking for his family when he was very young. So he started cooking and selling his food at service station, gas station, and that went bad. You want to guess why?
Fighting?
A deadly shootout with a competitor.
Like he was involved in a shootout.
A deadly shootout with a competitor.
Okay, Harlan, we're gonna have to have a
So
conversation.
we're gonna have to fast forward 4 years later when he can do things again.
Oh, because
and-
he went to prison.
It's unsubstantiated by this story. But 4 years later, he bought a motel and with an attached restaurant and continued cooking his food.
Okay.
And this guy had the willpower to just keep starting, and his hotel burned to the ground, along with his restaurant. So
This is a train wreck.
this is a train wreck of a story, isn't it?
Oh, didn't he work on trains?
But he built a brand new motel from the ground up until World War II forced him to close it. So I know a part of this story that this article did not
in this story.
Yes, it's willpower.
Okay,
But
okay.
you know, you got to have the dark before you have the light.
Well, there's a lot of dark.
This article that I'm using for my Cliffs Notes didn't cover a certain part because I guess it was whitewashed a little bit. But this guy actually, in his 50s, tried committing suicide and failed at that. And then that's when he came back stronger than ever. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna make this shit happen. I'm gonna cook, and I'm gonna make it work. And he came up with this recipe that's like his staple. This is going to be my legacy. This is what my kids are going to be able to pass on, my kids, so on and so forth. And he went to
I think I know who this is.
1,009 restaurants before somebody finally was like, yeah, let's fucking do this. And so he ended up building this chain.
Would he be from?
No, don't. I want to get all the way to the end before I say what it is, even if you know it. But so he ended up using this recipe, coined a few phrases that I'll touch on in a little bit. It quickly became a hit. Now, mind you, he's in his 60s by this point. And
did he use his social security checks to fund this restaurant?
I don't know. Let's keep going in this story. So yeah, he opened a single restaurant at this time. It was doing great, and then an interstate came by, and when the interstate opened up, it took all the traffic away from his area, so it went down again. So he finally said fuck it and franchised his restaurant and kept building it, kept it going, hired thousands of employees, and he sold his company when he was in his 60s for $2 million, which today would be about $15.3 million.
He didn't sell for enough.
He did not sell enough. He passed away at 90 under the name Colonel Harland Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
So I have a question. He served 1 year in the service. Yeah. Where'd this colonel come from? Is this just like he just gave himself the title colonel? Yep. He wasn't even a fucking colonel. You weren't even a private, dummy.
But yeah, at the time he passed away, there were 6,000 KFC locations in 48 countries. So even after
he sold it, he was still a spokesperson then. So he obviously still was collecting money. So finger looking good, right?
And yes, he did wear the
white suit with
the bow tie with the goatee. That he actually
that was his iconic look.
Yeah.
From the time he was a lawyer or like forever.
But he was a serial failure until his 60s, and then built something that is
iconic.
It was the first chain fried chicken restaurant. It was before Church's, before Popeyes, before Chick-fil-A. You know, the white people chicken.
Jesus.
You know, because it's got that spicy stuff. What is it? Mayo.
Seriously? It's really funny.
It is.
It's tangy. It's not spicy. It's tangy.
But yeah, if that doesn't talk about willpower,
yeah,
I don't know what the fuck does. Like,
no, that's pretty impressive. So you're not even finished with your beer. Don't we have another beer to go?
Yeah, we have one more beer to go. Do you want to finish this one up?
Finish this one up. I'm going to tell you a couple of quotes, and then I'll tell you a joke while you're pouring the next one. You ready?
Chug your last little bit of that one.
So the first quote, I didn't fail the test. I just found 100 ways to do it wrong. Benjamin Franklin. Boom. And another one is people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Zig Ziglar.
I'm actually I like the shit out of that one.
I do too.
That's another one you got to put on Facebook and tag me in.
I read a lot, and that was my favorite because it was like, yeah. So if you want to introduce this one, we'll take a sip, and then I'll tell you a joke.
All right, so the last beer we're going.
Well, I'll tell you one more joke because I think we're getting close to time, right?
Well, let me excuse me. Let me talk about this beer for just a second. The last one we're gonna do is another one from Spindle Tap. It is the Tint IPA. It's 5% ABV. Don't know anything about it. We're gonna try it.
Lemonade.
Yeah, it smells like grapefruit juice.
Ooh, whoa, woo! Does that smell like grapefruit juice?
Got some hops. No. Your radio didn't die if you're listening to this. I'm trying to figure out what I think of this.
I don't think I've ever tasted anything like it, which is good. That is real grapefruit. Like
it tastes like grapefruit.
I've had grapefruit beers before. This is like someone juiced grapefruit and put it in a cup.
But it's not a grapefruit beer. It's an IPA. So it's the hops.
There's grapefruit in there.
No, hops has a grapefruity flavor to it. But it's very hoppy, but it's not like punch you in the face.
Oh, no, I would say it is punch in the face. I think it's
a sweeter hop than a lot of IPAs.
It is a sweet hop. I would agree with that. It's not bitter, but it is definitely hoppy. I think I like it, but I'm not sure. I'm like so torn right now.
I like it enough to try another one to double check.
Yeah, right? Like it's almost like I can't put my finger on it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep drinking it until I'm fucked up, and then I'll realize if I like it or not.
Yeah. And
okay.
When you're fucked up, you like everything.
So a young couple wanted to join a very specific church. So the reverend has this counseling session with a couple and says, well, we have special requirements for our parish. And it's that married couples have to abstain from sex for the first month when they join us. And the couple agreed. And after 2.5 weeks, returned to the church when the pastor ushered them into his office. The wife was crying and the husband was obviously just very ashamed, head down, wouldn't make eye contact, very depressed. And he's like, wow, you're back so soon. Like, what's the problem? And the husband said, we were terribly ashamed to admit this, but we did not manage to abstain from sex for the required month. The reverend asked, okay, well, first tell me what happened. What happened in the first week? He said, well, the first week was difficult. However, we managed to abstain through sheer willpower, nothing else. The second week was terrible, but with the use of prayer, we managed to abstain. So far we were doing good. However, the third week was unbearable. We took cold showers, prayed, read the Bible, anything to keep our minds off carnal thoughts. One afternoon, my wife reached for a can of paint and dropped it. And when she bent over to pick it up, I was overcome with lust and had my way with her right then and there. And he's like, and I am so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. And the reverend said, you understand this means that you are not welcome at this church. And the young man said, yeah, I know. We're not welcome at Home Depot either.
I can't believe you aired out her story like that. That's why we shop at Lowe's now.
I loved it because I was like, man, yeah, you live at Home Depot, you'd die. You'd be like, well.
So I got a real quick one sent by one of our avid viewers. Chaz sent this to me on Facebook.
Chaz Elliott?
Yes.
Oh, hello, Chaz. Hey.
We don't use last names.
Sorry, not Chaz Elliott. Forget.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Okay, from now on, just so you know, we don't use last names without express consent.
I'm sorry.
So I don't want to get sued. But yeah, so Chaz said,
Don't sue me, Chaz.
he says, I'm just gonna quote this so I don't have to change all the I's to he's, but I had to sit next to the fattest person on the flight for 4 hours. Arm wrestled for the armrest the whole time. Her fat ass legs pushed against mine in the aisle. Wanted to slap a bitch. Yeah, I could see where sitting next to a fat person on an airplane would like.
Have we told you the movie theater story where JD, he was supposed to be sitting in one specific seat, but we would have bumped arms and everything. And there was a very big girl sitting on the other side. And he made me sit there. And she was half oozed into my seat.
Yeah, she oozed. Like, it was like.
And the whole time I'm looking at him like, bitch, you owe me. The whole fucking time, bitch, you owe me. Like, big, huge, massive. Like that girl's waistline. You owe me big.
So imagine, like, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna paint you a picture of what to imagine of what this girl looked like. Okay, you know those really fat crayons that you give kindergartners?
Yeah.
So cut one of those to about this big, so you have your ratios the same as her height to width ratio. Now leave this broken crayon in the sun for about 2 hours. Not enough to where it's completely melted, but it's just oozing all over the place.
I don't care if you're a big person. If you think you're hot, good for you. Good for you. I'm all about like self-image. Like I didn't want to lose weight. I liked myself big. I had to for health reasons. But if you are a big person and she was legitimately taking up my seat, half of my seat, her seat, and half of the seat on the other side of her,
she should have paid for two.
I'm sorry. I hate to be that person, but you need to pay for 2 seats. I'm sorry. And I hate to say that because I've heard big girls complain about having to pay for 2 seats on airplanes. But come on, if you're going to take over someone's seat, it's only fair that you pay for 2 seats. I'm so sorry. I'm only taking up 1 seat. If I took up a second one, if I put a baby stroller in there, that's not their problem. No, I'm sorry. I don't think that's fair.
Okay, let's do
Sorry. I hate to be that person and I'm probably going to get canceled. I'm sorry, but if if you want to be big, that's on you and good for you. Good for you. And I'm supportive of whatever you want to do. You die however you want to die. You live however you want to live. But just know that you are being disrespectful to the people next to you if you don't pay for 2 seats.
All right. So we have a few more minutes before we got to wrap it up. We'll do a lightning round. Just off the top of your head, times when you've had willpower. And I'll start off. How about not absolutely destroying fucking somebody with my gigantic diesel when they pull into the gas pump in which I'm trying to get, especially when most gas stations only have a couple of fucking diesel pumps and you're going to the one in your fucking Prius, piece of shit. Oh my God. Oh, it's so much willpower not to just like run over a fucking motherfucker.
In Walmart where there's that girl who is obviously ghetto as hell who looks at you and is like, what? And you want to say, you want to know, bitch? But you don't because Jesus is in your life and you're like, nope, not today, Satan. I'm just going to keep my fucking mouth shut and just move on with my gosh darn life, even though you want to lose your shit.
Also in Walmart, not grabbing by the arm and whooping the ever living shit out of 73% of children in Walmart.
Yes. Yeah.
Or not even that, but fucking telling the parents that they're pieces of shit for letting their kids do this.
Valid.
Like, I have bit my lip until it's bled to not say shit sometimes.
Yeah. Let's see. Not given into road rage and flip people off and cut them off and slow down in front of them on purpose. You do it all the fucking time. I rarely do it. And if
but you do it.
But I don't do it nearly as often as I want to. And that's willpower.
It's willpower to do it as much as I want to. You think that shit comes easy? You think it's just natural? No.
Yes.
I have to will that to happen.
Oh my God.
I have to will being an asshole. Like that much of an asshole on the road? That takes, yeah. It's not a talent. I work for that. Let's see. Nah, okay. So this one, I've always wanted to do this, and it's been willpower that's kept me from not doing it. But you always have that one asshole in the drive-through behind you that honks or pulls right up on you and like looks at you and is like, hey, you know, like
Right?
I've always wanted to take the high ground and pay for their meal since they're behind me.
Oh my God, you should totally do that.
And then pull up to the next window and show them both receipts, take both meals, and drive off. Like, that'll show you to be a dick.
Oh my God. JD. Oh my gosh. That's terrible. That's awful.
All right, you got one more, and then we're gonna play it out.
Fuck, I don't know. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I would say shut a guy down when he hits on me, but like that one guy, remember at the hockey game where he was like, hey, and I was like, no. Just like that, didn't even think about it. I was just like, no. Usually I'm so nice, like, hi, you know, like, but no, I was not having it. So I finally did it. Like, no, like I'm not even giving into an ounce of that. No thanks.
No.
Nope, not anymore. I'm done with that shit.
So speaking of being done with shit, you heard my wonderful shit story, and we are done with this shit show. So thank you all for tuning in to Southpaw's Tales from the Barstool. As always, I am JD. To my right is my wife, Kat.
White cat?
My white cat.
Or I'm his wife. I'm his white wife cat.
Yeah, that too. Make sure that you go check out all of our old episodes on YouTube and all your favorite podcasting platforms. Make sure that you share this. Share the Facebook page. Make sure you invite all your friends to that shit.
We'll be back next week for same drunk time, same drunk place right here at Southpost Tales from the Barstool.